we go. Cool. Give me a second. I gotta close my door because these kids gonna come screaming and running through the house.
That's fine.
Hi, Linda Hunt, Sicklerville, New Jersey.
Hey, Miss Hunt.
Hey, Miss Hunt.
Hi. Did y'all hear that television? I just turned it off.
Yeah, we heard a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, Sunday best. Yeah. How's everybody doing?
Doing
well.
great.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Yeah, Pat called me back. I
All
gave her
right.
the rest of the number.
Hello,
Yeah.
everybody. How you doing?
Doing good.
All right. We're gonna go on and get our call started. Welcome to the call tonight. We're gonna mute now. Either way, welcome to the call tonight. Good to hear everybody's voices out there. Gonna go on and get started. Tonight is our Sunday night call where we go, take some time to go over, what it is that we do, how we do it, and then just go dive a little bit deeper, into what it takes as far as mindset. Because, something I've been learning as we've been developing into leaders, developing into people who will be of influence within this company. And it's funny, as we become influential in this company, we learn skills that makes us influential in our, everyday, jobs and everything that we do. And what ends up happening as leaders, we come to find out that, everything that we are starting to accomplish, it's going to bring roadblocks, and it's going to build us in a different kind of way. And that's why we need that mindset that will help us go beyond just having a paycheck or getting a paycheck or working for somebody. Because it was funny, I was talking to one of my friends. They grew up in one of the upper middle class, upper class type of private schools. And he said, it's very funny that when we went to school, no one talked to us about working a job. Everybody talked to us about becoming a leader. And so, and those are a lot of the people who end up in top CEO positions and this, that, and the other. And that's something that we all have to understand, that sometimes our minds might not have been fine-tuned for leadership, for business, or anything like that, or working for ourselves. And so we just need, a little training. So that's what we like to get into as well, is just talking about how do we help people become, better stewards of the business and better stewards of themselves, and start to lead themselves and lead others. Anyway, kind of going into a rant, but that's just one of the things I've been focusing on in the past week or weeks or whatever the case may be. But let's go through our steps. Let's go through, what it is that we do and everything like that. So anyway, the first thing we do is we take the time to make a list, okay? Now, what does that mean, to make a list? So when you first come in, the first thing everybody tells you, make a list: friends, family, coworkers, acquaintances, grocery store clerks, this, that, and the other. It's just trying to get a recollection of all the people you've known in your life, met in your life, become friends with, all these types of things. All right. But here's the other part about it, is that usually people that you have become friendly with, become a part of, you kind of have the like mind, the same like backgrounds and everything like that, that a lot of people that you may talk to as your friends, families, or coworkers may just be people who've been trained to work for someone, go into a job and everything. So with the Alliance team, we like to go beyond just, taking the time to make a list. we want you to go into the development of creating a list. And what does it mean to create a list is you must learn how to talk to people that may not be in your group. You must know how to warm up to people. You must know how to be what they call the law of attraction, attract people to you to even ask you, what is it that you do, you know? And that doesn't mean you have to have a fancy car or drive fancy or anything like that. We've seen many people who that's not their thing these days, but they still have the ability to draw people to them. You know, it's like Steve Jobs, you know, before he passed, everybody knew if you were going to be a millionaire, you know, computers and everything, you always had to dress in your suits and this, that, and the other. He changed the game by coming in a black shirt and tennis shoes and jeans, you know. So there are ways of being, you know, attracted or attracting people to you. Either way, so you're going to start to create that list. How do you do that? Well, we go to step number 2, which is we learn to connect with people. And this is very hard because of the fact that we are going to meet people from every type of background. And we have a product that actually caters to every type of person on the planet. And it goes even further because, I mean, one of the first studies on noni was with a dog drinking, you know, noni, crushed up noni fruit or whatever. And so even animals, so you appeal to people on the animal lovers level, you appeal to people on the health level, you appeal to people on the wellness level, you appeal to people of different, you know, backgrounds, Indian, Asian, African-American, all these different things that, you know, before you know it, you have a group of just people from all walks of life. But the thing is, the only way to do that is by learning to connect to people. All right. So how do we connect to people? The biggest way that we connect to people is a word that a lot of us have to get used to, which is empathy. Okay. That's something that's missing in this world because we're living in a world of, you know, self-absorption. We're only worried about ourselves. But empathy, you have to take the time when you're connecting with people. You're asking them, you know, what kind of, you know, job do you have? You know, what do you like to do with your family? You know, what do you like to do when you're just by yourself? All these other types of things. You're learning more about a person. And there's even something we've never thought of, but, you know, you talk about motivation with people. You know, what was one of your greatest accomplishments and why was it one of your greatest accomplishments, you know? And do you want to go further than that? You know, you're starting to get people to think outside of what their normal, I guess you could say, lifestyle is. And you're starting to get people to start to think about things that are a little different than where they would go these days and everything. Because, you know, one thing that has come to be, and I heard a lady say that this week, not even this week, I was just looking at something, and it just really stuck with me, where she said, to tell you the truth, as long as we're not connecting with people, as long as we're not letting people speak their voice, that we may not be as great as we can be if we allow people to share what it is that they have within them, okay? And usually when you take somebody down and don't let them express themselves as far as what their dreams and goals may be, you may have actually, instead of enlightening them, you may have made them go into a dark place to feel as though they needed to suppress who it is or what it is that they were trying to do that may bring greatness to the world and everything. So that's part of the connecting with people. And it's really huge. You know, we talk about sometimes the lists that, you know, I've been able to create and everything like that was just the fact of connecting with people, having a general conversation with people. And from that general conversation, people can feel that empathy, that it was easy for me to go to that person and say, hey, you know, let me get your number. I want to follow up with you on what it was that I was talking to you about. And before you know it, I have their number, we're talking, and, you know, we're bringing people on the line. And that's something I have to get back into a little bit more, is taking the time to connect with people more, start building that list again. And that's one thing Mr. Day did challenge us with, is sometimes you throw away the list that you've made before and start all over. And that's something I feel as though I'm looking to do now is start all over and creating a list and building from there and connecting with people. Anyway, we spent a lot of time on connecting. Let's keep it going. As far as the next thing is, once you connect with people, you want to pique their interest. You know, that's part of that. You know, what do you feel may be one of your highest accomplishments, and why are you not still pursuing that, or what do you want to do different that may make you that may drive you to do things that you feel you can accomplish now. When you start to ask people those questions, you now have a place in which you can pique their interest. Well, I heard you wanted to travel around the world. I'm working with a company ever since I've been with them. I've been able to go to Jamaica. I've been able to go to, you know, a lot of American places, Las Vegas, go to the Bahamas, and even had the chance to go to Switzerland, Rome, all these other different places. But my life was a little busy at that time. But we do a lot of traveling because we're impacting people's lives all over the world. And a lot of these trips are even on the dime of the company. You know, is that something you'd like to be interested in? Cool. Hey, I heard you were into health. You're looking to be able to improve your health in a different way. I know you're doing your exercise. I know you're doing whatever fast or whatever techniques you're doing, but I want to give you something that we found to be the #1 bodybuilder, body composition builder, immune system builder that will help you throughout that journey as well. Okay, let me talk to you about it. Or I'm looking to start my own business or I'm looking to make some money to start my own business. Let me help you in that area too. So we've now found a way to pique their interest. We get their information. Again, I'm saying pique, in which I have not said anything about money. I'll just let you know that I'm in the business. It has the ability to help you. We've helped other people, and I'd like to introduce you to the group that I'm working with, okay? And from that, you then have piqued their interest. You have their information, maybe email, maybe phone number, maybe Facebook. Know that email and Facebook only leads up to a phone conversation where you can actually invite them through a 3-way call to a bigger presentation and everything. And so what you want to do is get them on the line with an expert, let that expert invite them out to some type of presentation. We have we have Zoom now, in which Mr. Coppage has set up for us and everything. So we do have that as a way in order to have a presentation now, because we're not in people's homes anymore. You may be able to contact Mr. Coppage and say, hey, can we use that Zoom number in order to do a virtual tea party or whatever you want to call it? Can we do a virtual introduction of what New Age is, what Miranda with New Age is, what Noni with New Age is? Can we do that? And, that is one of the best ways to utilize this and start to generate some income, that you're still in people's homes. You're just doing it in a different level now and everything, okay? Then you give a person a presentation. You let them know, hey, I'll give you the link to this particular presentation. It'll start promptly at this time, and we look forward to seeing you on the call. Bam. All right. You give the presentation, you tell them about the company, the products, you tell them all that, and you tell them about the opportunity that there is for them to get whatever it is that they were looking for, okay? From that, you'll find out where people land after giving them that presentation, but you're giving them 30 or 40 minutes of information they've never heard before, all right? From that, you now can sort people out. And what do we mean by sorting people out? Is that you begin to fill out where a person may be once you've done that presentation, all right? Where you have people who are just not interested, no matter how crazy them not being interested may come out. Hey, I'm just not looking for anything new right now, or, I'm healthy enough while they're smoking a cigarette. Whatever the case may be, there are things that, to let you know that they're not interested, and it's okay. And sometimes you want to just see if you can follow up with those people, okay? But then you have the second type of person who just has questions. Man, this sounds strange, or this sounds good. I just need a little bit more information. I've never heard of anything like this, and that's okay. Just get with the person and get their questions answered, even with your upline, with the company, whatever it is that they're interested in. It's always amazing when you have a person who says, hey, I see that this works with such and such, do you have a person who can give me a testimony about this? And you call up somebody on the team or within our network who can give them more information about what their experience was like and everything, okay? Number 3, you have people who just want the product. When you have people who just want the product, you know, just take the time, see what they want, give them the product, and then always try to follow up with them to get what their experience has been. You know, we're always talking about the Miranda experience or the Noni by New Age experience, however you want to call it. But when you give them that experience, that's 90 days in which they can try our products and return it. And doesn't that even show another connection with the person, is that if they are interested in the product, you are actually following up with them for those 90 days, seeing if they need product, seeing if the product has done anything for them, encouraging them that, hey, you may need to be taking the product for 90 days instead of 30 days in order to see a result, whatever the case may be. And then by you showing that connection, they now have more faith in what it is that we're doing and what it is that they're trying at that point, okay? Number 4, referrals. Referrals are very key to the business because not everybody that we meet may be interested in what it is that we do, but don't you know, worry about asking somebody, hey, do you mind if I give you if I can get a referral? Do you mind? Do you know anybody who would be interested in something like this? Do you know someone who is interested in their health? Do you know someone who's interested in making a little bit more money by talking about something they would already take anyway? You know, that what was mind-boggling to me about the company was once I heard about it, I knew I was going to be part of it. And if I wasn't even going to be part of it, I knew I was going to be a customer of the product and everything. And even at that point, I started to refer people back to the product and everything. So then number 5, there's the person who just is ready to enroll. And that's where we go to the next step, which is just enroll the person. You know, enroll them, you know, get them online, put them on conditional case auto ship, and get them up and rolling, ready to do business and everything. And lastly, the biggest part of what it is that we do is follow up / repeat, okay? Follow up on one point is you're taking the time to go back to the person who took the product, who got into the business, and see what their experience is, see if you can help them out, especially with someone who just got into the business. See if you can help them out. Start getting into their living rooms. You know, that this is where the business is built most of the time, is in people's living room. Again, we're not getting in people's living room. We're social distancing. But let's take the time to see if we can get with Mr. Coppage. Hey, is it possible I can set up a meeting where we can do a face-to-face with someone? Or is it possible if I could just get on the line and go down if no one knows, if anyone on the phone doesn't know how to go into their back office and look up everyone that's on their team and go down that list. You know, me and Mr. Coppers was having this conversation the other day where we were talking about, man, I remember we used to have so much excitement. You know, how do we reach out to people? How do we let people know that, you know, we were here for them and everything? And I said, you know, as soon as somebody got on the team, we were going down our list. We used to love looking at that list, grow. But it only grew because as soon as someone came on, we called them, we talked to them. We made sure that they knew that we were here for them. And it was amazing how those people then gravitated toward what our team was about. And that's what made us more attractive of a team than some teams who had been in network marketing before. It was more of a bond. It was more of a family. And people are not looking to be in a business that feels like work, or into a business and this is something that they're doing on the side and voluntary. They want to go to something that makes them feel good. That's not high pressure or anything like that, but you're still working with them to see their dreams and their goals come true from what you connected with them about. And if you're really seeing this is just one key aspect of what our business is and what our system is that connection. I want to drive that home with a lot of people because that's what we're missing a lot, is in order to show we care, in order to show that we're there or whatever the case may be, it takes us talking to people. And when I said about us connecting with people that don't look like us, again, when we start creating our list, when we create the list, we're starting to put people on the list that we may not be familiar with. We may not have ever thought we would talk to before or anything like that. But it's all through how we connect with those people is what's going to continue to bring those bonds together and everything. And through us talking to those people and those people seeing that we're looking to understand them, that then grows into a bigger bond, a bigger family unit, and everything like that with Miranda. Now, it was interesting because I'm gonna flip the conversation a little bit, and I want to go into a little mindset. And I've been loving Chick-fil-A, and it's not because of the chicken sandwiches, even though I love them for that in the first place. It was more or less because of they put these nice little sayings on the bags now, because they are still showing people that they care. They're still showing people that they want to connect with them, even though, you know, you can't be face to face. They can't be as friendly as they used to be. And you're not coming in the Chick-fil-A restaurant, which was a whole nother feel and everything. But either way, one thing that they put on my bag this week kind of had me really thinking about some things. And it just went back to, excuse me, what if everything you're going through right now is just preparation for what you asked for, okay? And we don't look at that sometimes. We're always looking at the struggle that we're going through. We're always looking at, oh, this person may not have called me back when I called them, or this person may not have been receptive when I was trying to connect with them or when I was trying to talk to them or whatever the case may be. But again, you go through that in order to give people those experiences of everything was just honky-dory, everything was just quick and easy for you. You would not know how to train the person coming behind you. You wouldn't have that wisdom or that experience in order to tell them, hey, there will be obstacles. There will be things that will try to knock you off of what your mission is. But guess what? Don't worry about it. We will get through this, okay? I even remember, what was it? Like we always say, we used to go out, we'll be at a restaurant, and someone will say, hey, why don't you pique the waitress's interest? Hey, you know, why don't you go talk to such and such? I even remember the time me and Mr. Coppage, we were at what would we call it? It was like a global business summit. It had all types of people there. Robert Kiyosaki, Les Brown, all these other people and everything like that. And I just got up from the table and said, excuse me, Mr. Coppage, you know, give me a second here. I think I'm gonna go here and talk to these people over here at the table. And I just took the time, went over there, talked to the people at the table, and he was just like, how did you do that? And I was like, man, you know, it's just something you have to do, is that you have to get over the fact that you may be rejected and get through the fear. And it was even funny because, you know, we don't really knock on people's doors today. And so anyway, I'm here at home. We're getting some trees knocked down, but I needed to talk to my neighbor who lives behind me. I've never talked to him before. You know, I've seen him on the porch, but, you know, he's a very stern looking guy. You know, you really don't want to knock on his door without being announced type of guy. So I'm just walking down. I was like, man, you know something? I have to talk to this guy because I'm going to be on his property. And I was trying to find out when would be the best time to do it. And it's just like the business where I said the best time to do it is when you think about it. You know, you're always saying, should I pique this person's interest that, you know, is right here? And the best time to do it is right then, to pique their interest or whatever the case may be. So I said, instead of holding it off, let me just go over here and talk to the guy. And I know it's kind of like, okay, Chago, you're a big, you know, 280 something pound dude. You know, why would you be scared to talk to folks? But, you know, people are triggered, people are this, that, and the other. And I wouldn't say scared, but nervous or whatever the case may be. And it came to find out that we had a common ground. And that's what really helps when you learn to connect with people, is that you find a common ground and you're able to talk to people about things really quickly, and get through all the fluff or all the uncomfortableness or awkwardness of talking to people. And so I went over there to talk to the guy. Come to find out, he had worked at CDC as a security guard all this time. He actually was a person who worked for the county now, cutting trees and analyzing things. And we talked, and then he was like, well, I'm just a renter here. You need to talk to the landlord. I talked to the actual landlord. And the thing is that in all those conversations, because I've learned to connect, we all were able to get through this. Hey, yes, I'm gonna have these guys do this, or whatever the case may be. That when you come to these awkward times where you feel like in the business, I don't know if I want to talk to a person, you learn to talk to a person. And those experiences, then just taking it back to that phrase, prepares you for something that you can teach somebody else, And it was kind of like the whole thing with Nathan. He thinks it's a good thing now he wants to be a supervisor. He wants to go out and say, hey, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. Hey, you need to do this. Hey, you need to do this. Hey, you need to do this. He said, yeah, I like telling people they need to do this. And I said, well, here's the thing about being a leader or preparing to be a leader. I said, sometimes you got to know how to swab the deck before you can be the captain. And he was like, no, I just want to be the captain. I said, well, if you never learn how to swab the deck, you may never know if the deck is truly clean. And so you may have something rotten in your deck that you don't even know, that's small and minute, that's a little bitty job that's not getting done, is going to make that boat sink one day. And so these are, and I look at that in dealing with leadership as well. And at CDC, the same thing is that we have our managers, we have certain people who are teaching us things that in my level, I may not see something, but they may be coaching, they may be telling me something that I need to pay attention to, that when I do talk to people at a certain level within the company, guess what? They are preparing me through some of the things that they're doing, So it's a lot of different things that we must look at as far as how do we connect with people, first of all, how do we create a bigger list and everything like that, and just know that whatever it is that you're going through that may be awkward or fearful or you're not used to, that just know that this is preparing you to actually become the leader that you can be. And then preparation, that's even to the point of doing presentations, doing three-way calls, doing all these things that make you better and better and better. And that is just some things that people don't want to deal with sometimes, but that's part of becoming a leader. Is there's a preparation to it. There are no overnight success. Everybody says, yeah, I had a 20-year overnight success, but we always see people in that last mile and think that that's all it took, was that last mile to get successful in something. It takes a lot of work before that last mile, okay? So anyway, I want to give people some time to tell us how the week's been going, things they've been doing. So I just want to open up the line, see what we got here. 1 second. Or you can unmute yourselves, however you see fit.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Yeah. I took the noni to my son yesterday, and he did call to say he got it. Thanks for letting me share.
All right, no problem. Thanks for sharing. All right, anybody else would like to share?
Hey, Mr. Butler, I just wanted to mention to everybody that I did register the team for the virtual Global Business Summit. So, work with your sponsor to collect the claim number or contact me directly. My number is 678-637-3622. We have 10 slots. They're going quick. So make sure that you call me so that way your team members can get registered.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. College. All right, do we have anyone else out there who would like to share?
Oh yeah. Also, I brought. This is Linda Hunt from Sickle, New Jersey. Also, I brought the this week I brought the eye vitamin and the probiotic.
All right. And let me ask you something with your son. How long did it take you to be able to get him to use the product?
I would say 11 years, and I think I wouldn't have had that if Mr. Coppage hadn't came in. I had him talk with him, and I think that did it. Me saying something didn't mean too much. But once he started talking with Mr. Coppage and he connected with that acid reflex, that was it.
All right. And from that experience, just let me ask, how would you advise somebody on your team if they're having difficulty talking to someone within their family?
Take yourself out of it. You have other members on the team. The bottom line is they don't respect your business sense. So when you take yourself out of it, and when we say take yourself out of it, we're looking at results. So it talks about how your family feels about you. They don't respect your business sense. They've known you all your life. So when they talk to somebody else and you edify them, it makes all the difference in the world. Thanks for letting me share.
All right. Thank you for sharing as well, And that's just showing growth within the business and everything. Go ahead. Someone else was saying something?
Yes, I was also going to share too that I did run into one of my old customers today. It was it's a good example of you never hold yourself back from piquing somebody's interest because of their position. So his name is Professor Khalif, and he actually taught me at DeVry. And when I first got started in business, y'all told me to put everybody's name on my list, so that's what I did. So I piqued his interest, and he was always a good customer. But we lost touch over the years, and just so happens I was going for a jog today and ran into him, and one of his new students was running with him. So he talked about me and how, professional I was, how good I was in school and blah, blah, blah. But we did reconnect, and with COVID floating around, he knows he got to build up his immune system. So I'll be following up with him to get him some noni as well.
All right, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, that is a very, very big thing that Mr. Coppage even found out, was that he didn't know that this experience was coming up, but just in us telling him to pique everybody, to talk to everybody, he now has a story to go back to tell people as they come into the group. Hey, this is what happened with me. This is something that you're probably experienced, and then who knows if by that other person seeing that experience, they may actually become a customer or ask a little bit more about the product and everything. All right, guys. Well, we've gone over a couple of minutes, didn't mean to go past our time, but, it's always interesting hearing you guys, hearing how, you've been building through the business and everything. And it's always a pleasure for us to come out here, share a little bit of our wisdom, and then also just include you to share some of your wisdom as you've been growing so that you can become the leaders that you are and will be within our business. So we do appreciate it. You guys have a good week. We look forward to working with you guys throughout the week, and just call if you need anything, and have a good night. God bless.
Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.